What's going on, guys? This is just a quick update video on the Grooming Gang Review petition that has now reached 101,000 signatures, meaning Parliament will now consider this for a debate and we will see what the government's true intentions actually are. Because if they ignore this petition, it will prove to us they are not the people's government that they have been claiming to be. Now, just because this has hit 100,000 signatures does not mean we have reached the end. We all still need to share this out to everywhere that it hasn't been, because 100,000 signatures is still not enough in my opinion. It says to me most of the country still has not seen this petition or what it's about. I spoke to a few of my friends yesterday who are not connected with politics or what's going on in general much, and they had no idea this was even occurring. So the BBC and mainstream media's radio silence of it seems to be working in favour of those who want to cover up and hide this scandal. We all know it's an utter embarrassment to the country, and so do people when you tell them. So we need to get this out past the usual echo chambers that our stuff will obviously be shared around. Now, like I said, we are waiting for the government to respond to this and see whether they are actually going to debate it, which will then lead us on to the next steps. But I'm not entirely sure what they will be if the government rejects this. I will have to do some research and find out, but the most important thing to take from this video is that it reached the 100,000 mark, and we still need to continue promoting it and getting it out there to the rest of the country. So remember, guys, if you haven't already signed it, make sure you do so and share it with anyone who hasn't already seen it, and be sure to explain to them the grooming gang situation and what's been going on around the country, that the police, government, councils and social services have all been covering up. Now, in the continued embarrassment of the mainstream media and the big media organisations like the BBC, ITV and Sky News, The Independent are the only mainstream media outlet that are reporting on the Grooming Gang petition hitting 100,000 signatures, with the Yorkshire Examiner also reporting on it, but obviously being a regional paper will usually only be seen by people in that area. But something important they did say is Huddersfield MP Barry Sherman has backed a petition signed by more than 75,000 people. This article was yesterday, it's now over 100,000 as we know, calling for official research on the characteristics of grooming gangs to be made public. The issue is particularly sensitive in the Huddersfield area, as the dozens of men convicted of sexually assaulting mainly white girls and young women are from a Pakistani background. Having commissioned research on the characteristics of grooming gangs, the government is now claiming it's not in the public interest for it to be made public, as we already know, and have been up in arms about for a while now, hence why the petition was created by Jonathan Wong. We already know there's 19,000 suspected child exploitation victims. This is just disgraceful and something, like I said, I told my friends yesterday and they were appalled. But what appalled me the most is that they had never even heard of the grooming gang scandal. Mr. Shearman, the Labour MP for Huddersfield, told Yorkshire Live, "I was first to highlight the existence of the grooming gangs in a debate I introduced to Parliament." Well, introducing it once is not enough. You should be introducing it weekly if you ask me. So should every other MP around the country. But we already know the vast majority, if not all, do not serve us. They serve themselves. The last 3 or 4 years has showed us that. I have totally supported the police investigations and have consistently called for a full inquiry into these gangs which operated all over our country, not just in the north. And he's right there, but sod the police investigations, no one cares if you totally supported them because they weren't doing their job. Instead, they were covering it up and letting it slide. In some cases, blaming the girls for what's happening to them, remember. So no, totally supporting the police investigations is nonsense, because we already know they did fuck all and just allowed it to occur because they were too concerned with being called racist. Even though surely gangs of Pakistani men or men from any religion or race nearly exclusively raping young white girls should be seen as racist also, but not in this clown world that we live in, it would seem. Let us get this out in the open, or we will never understand why they existed and how we prevent them emerging again. Well, we already know why they existed. It seems to be a religious or racial thing, because this is what the victims have reported to us. They were targeted because of the colour of their skin or the religion they didn't support. If it was the fucking other way round, it would be considered a racist rape gang straight away. And we already know about the Home Office claiming it's going to publish a national strategy. We don't give a fuck about that. They won't do fuck all about it, as we all know. And the rest of it is just nonsense. But here's the Independent article. We'll take a quick look at what that has to say before we end this short video. The government's refusal to publish its research into the characteristics of grooming gangs could be debated by MPs. More than 100,000 people have signed an official petition demanding the report is published, meaning it must be considered for debate in Parliament. The petition was sparked by an Independent article revealing that the Home Office refused to publish the document, claiming the move would not be in the public's interest, which we already know. And then it goes to read out, we, the British public, demand the release of the official research on grooming gangs undertaken by the government in full. And the rest of it is literally just refreshing what they said the other day. So I'm not going to bother reading it out because I read it out in the last video about it. If you really want to hear me read it, you can go and see it there. I mean, even Diane Abbott, like I said in that video, is actually spot on with this one. Can you actually believe that I find myself agreeing with Diane Abbott on something? Though I expect, like every other MP around at the time, she was neck deep in this bullshit also, if she knew about it. But yeah guys, still complete radio silence from the major media organisations. What a surprise there. I have tweeted Piers Morgan in the hope of trying to get him to put it on Good Morning Britain tomorrow. So if you're on Twitter, follow me on there, link is in the description. Retweet that tweet and hopefully we can get it spoke about on Good Morning Britain. Because surely a petition to the government hitting 100,000 signatures in 3 or 4 days is worthy of news. And remember, if you haven't already signed the petition, do so, share it around everywhere, and let's keep this petition growing so the government can't ignore it. But on that note guys, I am going to end the video there. Now before I go, I've started doing live streams and uploading gaming content on my second channel. If you would like to come and join me for a live stream to chat in real time, have an interest in gaming related content on YouTube, or just want to follow me over there because you are a legend, the link will be down in the video description below and as a pinned comment. I hope to see you all there. Now as always, before I go, I want to thank our PayPal, Patreon, Subscribestar and YouTube members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot, and I will see you all in the next one.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going and we are glad to be going. We're off.